Hey guys, how are we doing? Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another video. There's so much to get into this video, I'm just going to dive straight in. So we're looking at Bitcoin here. Where is the bottom for Bitcoin? I've got so many conflicting ideas going on in my head. Well, not necessarily conflicting, but I feel like my gut is arguing with my mind a little bit at the minute. I'm going to get into that towards the end of the video. If you see me looking to the right, I've written a whole page of notes. I'm thinking of recording a video because of how many thoughts I've got, and then quote, retweet and stuff, and talking about them in specific little clips over on Twitter or screenshots. So for the last few days, as you guys know, I've been talking about a little further push down for Bitcoin. Obviously, I'm doing this on the fly, guys, because my editing's not great and my mic's literally broken. But I've been talking about this specific play and why I think that yesterday I reposted why I think there's an extra push down just to come here, maybe into this white box here, or into this area that we're literally just touching right about now, guys, because there's no volume here on the fixed range volume profile. This would make the most sense to bounce in this little area here where we are. If we look on the 4-hourly time frame, this is what I was looking at, and I'm going to just put this arrow back in. 1 second, there's a nice arrow there I wanted to include for you. Excuse me, I just had a coffee, so a bit like I thought there was going to be a push down further because the RSI could come further down into the oversold area. This is the area that I was looking at with like no volume. There's another one here at 55k, but this at 58.3, we may become a little bit further down than that, just because if we look over here at trading different, where all the liquidity pools are, this is showing us that there is liquidity everywhere between 59,000 all the way down really to about 56.8, and I would expect this to start getting eaten through. Now we're touching it. As I literally wrote in here, I thought when we were at this level, we were going to come up, bounce at this area here, which is the area that I have highlighted on here, and we literally bounced on my exact target, came down. I said we're going to come down and probably set lower lows, because normally when you trade within a range for a while, you deviate from the range, everyone thinks we're going down, everyone's like thoughts are like, oh, 12k, 10k, fucking all these stupid targets start to come out. I think I just swore, I don't know if I'm supposed to do that, but all these stupid targets start to come out. Guys, we're still in a bull market. This is a dip. This is exactly the dip we've been looking for. There's been some FUD going about. The Chinese ETF opened yesterday, didn't trade as well as everyone wanted it to. Like all these sorts of things are happening. Like crypto's getting beat up. We saw the DTCC, like I tweeted about, saying basically that any crypto on you, any Bitcoin on your balance sheet is worth nothing. And we saw Russia say they're going to ban crypto or ban Bitcoin specifically. It's pretty much a play-by-play of what happens every single cycle. People get shook out, and then we go on this parabolic move. So where is the bottom? That's the question that we're trying to work out. So this liquidity here, I was talking about this potentially getting swept for weeks in my newsletter before we head up. So let's look at this liquidity area here. Anywhere between this 59,000 down to 56.8. I personally guessed at about 58,300. We've got this nice big liquidity pool here. As you can see, that red line. As I said, I called this up here. If we look, it would be confluence with this low area of trading in terms of the fixed range volume profile. However, another thing that I did like recently look at is this little cluster here before we started our next little leg up. A lot of people are calling it 52k. It's potential, but I don't think we personally come that low. I think that people will be waiting for that, and I don't think we get it. So I'm targeting around that 58-ish thousand, 58, 57,000. But as I said, the liquidity shows that there is more below that too. So we've looked at volume, we've looked at the range. This is the range that we've been stuck in, the deviation below the range. Get rid of this arrow now, but you can see what I'm showing you. The deviation below the range, looking for that bounce, back into the range, bounce on the support again, and start to head up higher. This is what I thought the play was going to be the whole time. We've just taken at the bottom of this range, and there wasn't a lot of volume or reaction that came in there, so it tells me there's a little bit further down potentially to come. They're all my thoughts basically on crypto, on Bitcoin, sorry. But with that in mind, today we've got the FOMC with the Fed, and everyone's expecting that there's going to be something negative. However, out of the Fed recently, or out of the reports recently, we've seen lower than expected GDP, which is obviously incentivizes an easing in liquidity. But then we also saw higher than expected PCE, which basically means that there's inflation. So if they ease on liquidity conditions or ease on monetary policy, so liquidity starts to flow, it probably has a detrimental effect on inflation down the line. But if they tighten on monetary policy, then it probably has a detrimental effect on GDP. So what are they going to do? They're going into election year. Stocks yesterday sold off. What position is the Fed in? People are scared here. This is why stocks are selling off. People are scared that the FOMC today is going to be bad. I personally think there might be a curveball. I feel that from my gut, not necessarily from my brain. Technically, things are telling me we come down further, but there's something inside me that thinks when everyone's sitting on one side of an argument, that we go the other way. And look, if we look at the DXY, it's starting to rip out of that bull flag that I said that we were creating, and starting to head towards the upside. Are we going to get some sort of bearish divergence here where price sets a higher high on the 4 hour? We just come into the overbought area on the 4 hour, and then we head down. That's what I'd be looking for here. A bearish divergence at the top of it and a deviation of a range similar to what we had here. Look, we flirted with the top of the range, we came back up, we had that divergence here, and we came down, and we didn't actually have the bearish divergence, but we failed to set a higher high. This would be where I'd be looking for a bearish divergence. Maybe we come up to like 106.9 and the RSI comes lower than the momentum that we showed in the last little push up to this area. With all that being said, guys, we'll just have a quick look at the Japanese yen against the US dollar. So this red candle here was intervention from the Japanese government. It's been eaten up in the space of like 2 days. So ridiculous movements happening in the world currency markets. Gold has been selling off a little bit as well. I do think gold is going to come back down to this level, which again, it kind of contradicts in a way like crypto. However, we are oversold again on the 4 hourly for gold. Like, it's all like on a nice edge at the minute. It's why I do think that there could be a curveball come in. We saw CZ get sentenced yesterday. He got 4 months. Weird, super weird, like we're in a simulation. We've got FOMC today that everybody's scared about. Like, I'm conflicted with what I feel. Like, my brain's telling me, and technical analysis is telling me, look, we are coming down a bit further, look at this. And like, I've shown you some of the things that I'm looking at. Then my gut's telling me that something is a little bit, like a curveball is on the way, maybe with FOMC. So that's why I don't think we come down as deep as like 52. I think that everyone's starting to get in that point in the market where they're starting to think, oh, it's all over, like we're going to lose the support, that's it, GG's, we're going down, whatever. I don't think we're there at all, guys. I think we're about to absolutely send it. And I only think we're going to send it because everything is so bad. Like, it's kind of counterintuitive to what you might think. Because everything is so bad, governments are going to ease liquidity conditions at some point. They're going to increase debt and assets are going to rip. It's not because I think everything's fine and dandy out there that everything's going to do well. It's the opposite. Also, we have this basically our premium for our futures are basically towards short. So basically that means more people in the market are short right now and open interest is ticking up. So probably a lot of leverage on the short side. So we could get a short squeeze whenever we see this bounce, wherever it might be, we could get a short squeeze back to the upside. And we've started to see a bit of an uptick in spot volume. So that means some people are buying spot in this at these prices. As I said, I would like to see a dip below this range, scoop up those all these bears get extra confident, then they get stopped out and we squeeze, or some buying pressure comes in for whatever reason and we start to squeeze and start to rip and start to see our impulsive move back to the upside for the next phase of this bull market. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, guys, is the total crypto market cap, total one, which actually hasn't lost the range. Although Bitcoin has slightly lost the range, the total market cap of crypto currently hasn't, something to definitely keep your eye on. ETH is actually not performing very well, but again, is still holding the bottom of the range. One thing that is very interesting to me, as you guys know, I like XRP in this channel. XRP is holding the bottom of its range very well, much better than like ETH and Bitcoin currently, and we can see that by the XRP versus ETH chart. This was the all-time low. This is where I talked about having a bullish divergence at the lows. I put it on the daily so it makes more sense. This is where I talked about having a bullish divergence. Look, because we've got higher lows on the RSI here and lower lows on price, higher lows on the RSI here and lower lows on price, bullish divergence. I made this tweet, but we need to close back above this box for confirmation of XRP breaking above ETH. However, again, in the last few days, not loads of volume, but we're still outperforming ETH. And if we look at XRP against Bitcoin, the same sort of thing. We're really at like a resistance level here, just touching the bottom of this wick before we had that capitulation. But again, bullish divergence, lower low in price, higher low in RSI. starting to break back above that 50. Could it be time to see some bullish momentum come from XRP? Again, I'm looking for a close above this level here for XRP before I can confirm any sort of bullish price action. And we've got a hell of a long way to the upside that we could potentially go here. Could the catalyst be anything out of the lawsuit? Could we see something like we saw yesterday with the deal with SBI in Japan? I don't know. These are the things that I'm looking at for that as well. Another thing, another crypto that I've really got my eye on, HBAR, had a lot of volume trading through it. HBAR's just come down nicely. So these blue areas are weekly support levels and the grey or white areas are monthly. HBAR came nicely into this area of support here, touched it, and this could be a decent place to start accumulating. If you're looking to accumulate, I'd be accumulating here, and I'd be accumulating here. So they're basically all my thoughts on the market right now. I have a few alts that I'm watching. I don't want to get into them too much, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have I missed anything from my notes? Don't think so. That's basically everything I wanted to talk about, and I can show you in breakdowns of charts exactly why I'm thinking that in like smaller clips. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please ask me questions if you have any. This is not obviously 100% cert. This has just been my thought process. I've been writing about it for about 6 weeks in the newsletter, saying that we're ranging, but after this range is when the fireworks happen. Actually, the last thing I want to touch on is on the daily time frame, we're as low on the RSI as we were at $38,000, guys, and you guys are getting bearish. We're at 59,000. We're as low as we were on the daily time frame on the RSI at 38,000. It's not time to be bearish, in my opinion. This is, in my opinion, a bear trap. Let's see what plays out next. I think something's coming. I don't know what it will be, but I just feel that everyone's on one side of the scale and everyone's sort of scared again. Everyone's like, oh, FOMC is going to be bad. Normally, that's when you see something change. As I said, just a gut feeling rather than like a brain. Let me know what you guys think. Peace up, A-Town down, as Usher would say.